I don't usually fall in the FOMO trap. I mean, even the god of tides himself could not convince me to pull for his myth rerun. But this, I had to watch this because I wanted to experience the after effects of this masterpiece. Or maybe I was just bored waiting for Caleb's myth announcement. Hi, this is Dawn. Recently, I watched Nadaaniyan on Netflix, and here is my take on what I think about this movie. So let's get started. Nadaaniyan, directed by Sohana Gautam and marking the Bollywood debut of Ibrahim Ali Khan alongside Khushi Kapoor, promised a fresh take on teen rom-com genre. Produced by Dramatic Entertainment and streaming on Netflix as of March 7, 2025. The film follows Pia Jaising, a privileged Delhi socialite who hires Arjun Mehta, a middle class scholarship student, to pose as a boyfriend to salvage her social standing. She offers him 25,000 rupees per week to convince her friends she's in a relationship and also receive their validation at the same time. What starts as a transactional arrangement predictably blossoms into something more, gradually moving forward towards misunderstandings and unspoken desires. While the film boasts a glossy aesthetic and a youthful energy, it stumbles due to a weak script, lackluster performances, and an overall failure to connect with its audience. The movie feels all over the place, making it lose its meaning and come out as unhinged, which felt like skipping at every moment of the movie. Even though the story of the movie is interesting, like many of the contract relationship tropes seen in various manas and dramas, the implementation of the same is not at all visible, with not even one moment present throughout the movie that could make your heart skip a beat. One of the most glaring flaws in the screenplay is that the story feels like a rehash of countless teen rom, leaning heavily on tired tropes without adding depth or originality. Pia's decision to a fake relationship to appease her friends feels flimsy and unconvincing. Why is the social circle so fragile that it hinges on this ruse? The class divide between Pia and Arjun meant to fuel a conflict is poorly explored. With Arjun's sort of middle class background, I mean, his father's a doctor and his mother's a teacher, stretching credibility in the film's elite world. The narrative meanders through predictable beats, misunderstandings, jealousy, a grand gesture, without building emotional stakes or a compelling arc. At just under 2 hours, it still feels padded, with unnecessary musical interludes that take away the meaning of an important part of the story. Ibrahim Ali Khan, stepping into the spotlight as Saif Ali Khan's son, shows flashes of charm but struggles with the demands of the role. While some scenes can be seen as a ray of hope, like the one with the cab driver Gangadhar, as Gangadhar rooting for Pia and Arjun, or the scene where his mother reads the letter sent for him by Pia and they both end up having a heated argument. Later, this argument is stopped by Arjun's father, which then leads to another heartwarming bond shared between a father and son. This scene really had some depth in it, and it felt like finally there was something in the character of Arjun. But on the other hand, especially with the scenes with the other lead, Pia, seemed off put and awkward. There is no chemistry between them, and rather seems like a forced school play than a romantic comedy. His dialogue delivery often feels stiff, and his emotional range is limited, making Arjun more of a handsome placeholder than a fully realized character. The much hyped moment where he wins the debate by flashing his abs is meant to be quirky but lands as absurd, undermining any event at serious character development. About Khushi Kapoor,
बेटा तुमसे ना हो पाएगा हमें तुम्हारे लक्षण बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं लग रहा है तुमसे ना हो पाएगा
okay, just kidding. Khushi Kapoor's portrayal lacks the nuance needed to make the character emotional turmoil resonate. Her outburst about her fractured family hint a potential, but the script doesn't give her enough to work with. The scene where she learns about her father's affair and had a much heated argument with him is where I felt life in her character. That scene showed the emotional turmoil she has been in all the time, fighting and blaming herself for her parents' constant bickering. I believe this part of the story should have been explored more. Instead of having Pia as a friendly character living the infamous life of an elite, the loneliness of her character, the desperation to seek acknowledgement, whether it's of friends, it's her families, or the male lead, could be explored more deeply. The lack of chemistry between the leads is another blow. There is no spark to sell the transition from fake to real feelings, leaving their romance feeling hollow. On the top of that, their scenes lose context very quickly, confusing whether it was a comic scene or a heartthrob. Direction could be another weak link. Sohana Gautam, in her debut, nails the visual polish. Falcon High looks like a dream campus straight out of the Karan Johar playbook, but struggles to find a cohesive tone. The film oscillates between trying to be a breezy Gen Z rom and a deeper exploration of privilege and relationships, succeeding at neither. Scenes feel disjointed with random cameos and pop culture nods. This feels forced rather than clever. While the movie feels somewhat irritating and forced upon, there are moments of charm, like I mentioned before, that easy rapport between Arjun's parents, or the loneliness and vast gap seen in the relationship between Pia and her parents. But these highs can't compensate for the film's core issues. Nadania aims to capture the Instagram obsessed, ambition driven Gen Z vibe, but ends up with a shallow portrayal that feels out of touch. Teenagers plotting fake relationships and flexing abs instead of debating ideas don't ring true to today's youth. For a movie about innocence, it lacks the heart and authenticity to make you care. Nadania isn't a total disaster, but it's a disappointing misfire. A rather rushed project, just made with the intention to introduce another new face. More like an essay that's nearing its deadline. Weak writing, uneven direction, and underwhelming performances from its debutants keep it from soaring. It might find an audience among those who are curious about Ibrahim Ali Khan's first outing, but for most, it's a skippable addition to Netflix catalog. If you are searching for something new and an entertaining rom-com, I would advise not to take the risk, as this movie might feel more like a cringe reel than heartwarming entertainment. With that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you watch Nadania? What was your experience with this movie? Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. This was episode 1 of Ticket Punch. I'm trying something new. There are many more to come, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. I will see you the next time. Bye.